I'm Gary Strigler. I'm at the JLC Live Show, and I'm in our booth. It's the last day of the show, but I want to tell you, if you've never been to a JLC Live Show, you got to come next year. It's absolutely amazing education, information everywhere, so don't miss next year's show. Now, one of the things I want to share, something we've been doing in our booth, is building projects with cedar, like this screen door that you see here. We've also built some garden benches out of cedar. And one of the really important things about building those is the joint between the 2x lumber. Now, certainly a Festool domino is an amazing way to make that joint quickly. It's a strong joint, but not everybody has the budget for that. So I wanted to share something that might be a little intimidating for some folks, but it's really pretty approachable if you've got a router and the right bit, and that is making a mortise and tenon joint. What I'm really going to share mainly is the mortise. So basically it's just a pocket, and then you make a tenon. This I cut with a table saw. You can do it with a router. There's lots of different ways. But I'm going to focus on the mortise today. So, you put glue around there and that goes together, makes a really strong joint. So last year when we did this show, I used this jig to make the joints. And this jig is based on the edge of the router guiding the cut. The reason I did that is because I wanted to do a jig like this one where there's a bushing that guides the cut. But when we got here, we found out we didn't have a router that had the right base for the bushing to go in it. Now, let's see if I can pop this down here real quick. This is the bit that we're using. It's a spiral bit, so it's going to do a good job of clearing the chips. And I'm not going to try and take it all at one time. I'll take it in 2 passes. But this is the template I'm using this year. The bushing just rides against the sides of it. So what I'll do is I'll put it over my board, draw around it, and then I've come back and used a drill, a Forstner bit, to get a whole bunch of the wood out there, because you just don't want to have to hog all that wood out. So I'm just going to make the first cut so you can see it. Use some clamps to hold it in place. All right. So I'm starting with the bit up in that position where it's not going to touch anything. Next I'm going to plug in the router so it'll actually work. I'm just going to make this first cut. And even on my initial cut, I didn't have to plunge all the way down. Now to finish this, I would just rotate this turret and make the second cut. But it's basically the same process. So you can see I've started making that pocket. The next cut's going to be deeper. One real quick little thing. You always want to make the pocket slightly deeper than the tenon. But again, this is a great way to make very, very strong joints, and don't be afraid to try it, because hey, if a guy from Arkansas can do it, you can too.